Hi guys, we're here again.
Hello everyone, we are back. Welcome to the FEB Podcast.
I feel like I missed you guys. Did
Why?
you miss me? I don't know. I feel like you guys are
Hey, family member. Thank you
So
for the engagement on the
on
last video.
it
We
was
sincerely
mind-blowing. Thank you so much.
appreciate your engagement
Yes.
on that video. Someone said that people don't know the realness that they're about to encounter on this. We don't like
This
it.
is just tasty.
It's tea. You're not going to get it direct.
As the odds.
As the odds. And
As
the
true
truth,
as it gets.
the truth. That's what you are going to get on
No
this
sugar coating.
podcast. So if you have not subscribed yet and you are watching,
time.
this is the time. Please click on the subscribe button and of course click the bell so that you can get our notifications and see
every
all
time
of our
we post,
videos.
you'll be the first to know.
First row seat.
The people where popcorn go reach.
Now you. All right. Today's topic is very special
And somewhat controversial.
Somewhat controversial. It's always controversial.
Yes.
We are talking about the true cost of living abroad.
Not the cost, the
sincere cost of living abroad. Because there are so many for and against as regards abroad.
Yeah.
Please, let's make some things clear. This is not a discussion for people who always say anytime somebody abroad talk, they say, come back home now.
Yes.
No. That is
Remove that from your mind.
so that they don't say don't be unfortunate. So don't do it. Because
don't collect costs.
It's insensitive. It's like somebody living in Nigeria. Tell somebody in Nigeria complain about maybe something happened in government and say, why not go to heaven? People
it's
are
true.
just
Why don't they even tell when somebody from Nigeria calls you? Why don't you tell the person leave?
Yeah. So just the insensitivity of what happened when let's not do that. That's not what the video is about.
Yes.
It's not about to even condemn abroad or say yes to abroad. It's just to discuss the true cost.
Of living abroad.
You now make your decision.
Exactly.
If you think you can pay this price,
then you're welcome.
You're always welcome.
And if you think you cannot afford
the cost,
kindly stay where thou art.
Now, we are going to base our discussion first of all on a particular video, roaming around on, I believe, on the podcast of Gaze Baba.
Gaze Baba, yes.
I believe you can insert some of the video here.
The first time I got into the UK, I felt this extremely dark cloud. It's like the despair of the people has accumulated and formed a cloud around the UK. The depression is systemized, and it's weird because they've made it comfortable. You are in the despair, but you have accepted it because it's comfortable. From the first day I entered into the country, I felt it so strongly. And I told my wife, this is one thing, this is, I'm feeling this. We have to deliberately fight it. But because the system is designed in such a way that, there's the stratas to the society, right? So, and I just saw the pattern, because I'm also a student of the spirit. And so I'm very, very particular about patterns. And so I saw that the society is divided in such a way that a particular set of people have a particular set of experience. When you come into the country, this is the limit this is the best you can be. This is almost like a rite of passage. When you come in, you must do this, you must do this, you must do this, you must work in warehouse, then you must do care jobs, then you must struggle, then this is the peak you can be. You will just be like, and so I saw it.
Making it.
Yeah, and so I saw the patterns. I'm like, okay. And I spoke to like 7-8 people, and they all had the same reality.
Now, this video is talking about how there is a dark cloud over the UK.
Blankets of dark.
No, say that. He said the cloud, And there's been a lot of questions.
Firmament is black.
There's been a lot of question regarding that statement. That are you then saying that there is no firmament or cloud over Nigeria? That if there is a cloud, was clear. That if there is someone said that if there is a cloud over Nigeria, there is a cloth covering over UK.
If there is a cloud over UK,
then there is a cloth covering the entire Nigeria. and I get this point. But you see, if you are not sincere with yourself, you would be lost in the illusion of success of living abroad. Bam! You would think that you have made it just because you can pay your house rent, you can pay your mortgage,
groceries cheap.
Your groceries cheap.
Yes,
they say. But
you can drive any car you want.
That's what it is. Any car you want. You are sometimes almost paying with your life.
Yeah.
Now that video, we are not saying yes or no to. We are not condemning it. We have our own reservation.
Yes.
Because you see, everything that the guy said in that video is true.
100%.
100% true. Now, when there is a cloud over something, it doesn't mean it's covering everybody. Some people live above the cloud. But if you, like you said, if you gather 100, if you gather many people, but if you put it in perspective, if you gather 100 Nigerians in the UK, for instance, you will almost find over 70% with the same experience, doing the same job.
Under that cloud is explaining.
Under that cloud, that is trying to explain.
Yes.
Then, when people then begin to talk about what they have achieved, it very rarely does not go beyond, I bought house, I bought car. It very rarely does not go beyond that. And then you begin to wonder that, is that the entire,
Yeah. And then those people who have bought house and bought car, it feels like there's nothing more they can achieve.
Like there's nothing more. That's not like they begin to, I bought my house now, then I'm just working to pay off the house. Mortgage. Like you said, there is a cap. There's a cap. Like you find almost everyone. And then because there is this assumed how do I put it?
Success.
Calmness.
Okay.
Because nothing is really rocking your boat. When you have problems, you can use credit card to shock it.
Exactly.
You can use credit card to shock the life. And if you are not careful, if you don't, because when you don't know, then you don't readily, fight against it. I want us to go back to the cost. What some of the true cost. Because when we came into the UK, we were lucky to be able to meet some people who are not living under the cloud.
While we may not have seen that black cloud immediately, the people we associated with made us, they probably didn't see the cloud, but when I watched that video, I told him that this was the same experience I had. Mine was not immediately, but after some experiences.
You didn't come in spiritually, you don't become a Christian well.
No. So I get what that person is saying, and I'm sure some of you get it too, but maybe you've not really thought about it as a cloud. But open your eyes.
There's cloud. Now, so I've had people in this UK say they come back home from work and they cry.
Really?
Yes, people even cry while they're at work, because if you gather 100 people, almost more than half are doing what they don't want to do. If you give them an option, they will run. They will run. But because, like I said, there's this illusion of success if you live abroad, especially in the UK.
Yes.
Because I believe that the Nigerians in the UK are different from Nigerians in Canada. Maybe because UK is everybody come. I don't know. There's something about UK
I think because of the immigration. So UK is like, you can come in fast, but when you come in, you don't know what is.
Because you know that Canada, before you go to Canada, you have to write exam.
Yes,
to
you
professional
must pass the test
or something.
Of patience.
There's always this idea of that's. I believe, like I said, I'm not saying that one is better than. I just say that they look different. The reasoning of the Nigerians,
yes,
and the people in the UK,
like their situations or their circumstances are different.
They are different. Their circumstances. Now let's go back to this cost of the trust in the UK. Now let's start with that job that he mentioned. I believe that living abroad can immediately destroy your destiny. Career-wise, living abroad can destroy your career. What your experience? Share your experience.
So with me, my experience is it was shocking when I first came, and I came to do masters here. And before even coming to do masters, I've had loads of experiences working in Nigeria. And by experience, I mean job experience. I've worked in some pretty good places in Nigeria. I have the privilege of speaking a second language. And then I come here and then I am applying for jobs. As at when I was still a student, I thought, okay, it was the 20 hours thing. That's why I was not getting jobs. But now I'm no longer, or then, now. I was not on 20
before you gave up your mind, I said, I'm focusing on my thing.
I'm not doing again. I'm no longer on 20 hours. So what exactly is going on? There was one time he told me that, I mean, we should change our surname to...
Yeah, I to Igbo name. Because we heard, I don't know how true it is that once immigrants are being deliberately left out, my personal opinion, having lived in this country for some time, is that the discrimination is in the system. It's in almost every part of the fabric, but it's so it's so weaving into the system
That you might not
you might
notice
not
if you're
notice
not
until you begin
vigilant.
to say, why am I not getting this thing?
Yes.
Why am I being charged more for this thing? Why is this happening to me? There was a report by BBC that there were areas that immigrants live and they charge them more for their car insurance.
You can imagine.
And the argument that, of course, you understand the general public are trying to see is because there are crimes in those areas, but that is not true. It's just that they know where these people are here. This is their area, and they believe that and they charge them that much. And once you leave out, we experienced that. Now I told you we saved quite a lot of pounds just by moving our postcode.
Yeah.
Now on that job, I remember you got one now that they called you for.
So I started applying. I was applying. Have you ever applied for a job on a Sunday and get rejection? Like, who is in the office? Sometimes I've not even dropped my phone.
Unfortunately.
Sometimes he will tell me, oh, there's an email on your phone. Maybe it's job. I said, any email that you did not see that begins with "we are pleased," forget it. If an email starts with "dear your name," just forget it. I told you don't bother to open it. But guess what? When I got angry, because there's a particular job that if you apply for, you will not be denied. But I kept thinking
that's a care job. It's a care job. That's which one is a particular job. It's a care job. You almost will not be denied. Like you are more than sure that it's possible.
Tested and trusted. I said, okay, let me even try and see what this thing will be. You guys, when I started applying to care, and by care I mean care, support, everything related to that, I applied on that same weekend. And I got an interview for Monday, and he said I shouldn't take it because I was pissed.
I said, no, you can't take it now.
Nothing on my CV suggested that I had experience in care.
But
so you can't even tell me it's 8 years.
And you said, no, it was on Indeed now.
Yes, now.
Apply for all these care jobs around us. Just apply for them. We're care job support work.
I was just...
And congratulations, you have been invited.
Yes.
Started coming.
There was one interview that was immediately. It was not even immediate. My phone just rang. I told the woman, I said, I applied yesterday. She said, yeah.
And I said no. Now we could say no because at that time we've been privileged to set up some things for ourselves that we can focus on. I was privileged. Really, we came in. I had a good job, professional job. So I hold my side. I can hold my family without burdening ourselves. And I said no, don't do this job. Don't take any of them because one was very tempting because it was close to us, but it was a night duty. And I'm like, no, how much exactly are we?
I should leave my family.
Then we now leave us and go at night and come back in the morning. Now, this is not to say it's wrong because I know that this is many people's situation. Every family have their own situation. But the idea of
personally, we
will not do that.
Yes.
I don't like night duties. Even for professionals that do night duties like nurses and doctors, they don't run it like they run the care assistants, support workers that will do 40 hours, clinical hours a night. Those people work like 3 days.
Yes.
And that's about it. So I said, don't take this job. Why is it that you will have a master's? You have your first degree, you speak 2 international language with half of one. That's about 2.5 language with almost a decade experience as a professional. And the only thing they think to give you is this.
LinkedIn Premium, guys.
With LinkedIn Premium. And I said, no, don't take it. And because what I said to her was that, you see, what happens, what I've seen happen is that once you enter, you almost cannot find yourself out.
You can't.
You are there, you are rolling.
And that's because the first experience that you would have would be with this care. The new place that you want to move to,
what will make
that the HR person accept that you have 5 years experience in care, but you can do tech? Like, how would you navigate?
Say, I'm going to just do the 3 years or 4 years, then I'm going to move.
It's going to affect you. That's why you just find yourself being there.
Now, you need to listen to this with an open mind because, you see, because we are then not saying that. I'm saying that for us as a family, we check the costs.
The true cost
of that job, it didn't make sense that we would go and invest that much money. That we invest that much money in school fee. We will invest that much money in development. That last year alone, how many exams did we even write? We will do all of that, and you would then think that what we are good for is that care.
And it's intentional.
And we said no. So for us, we said no, that cost, we cannot afford to pay that cost. Yeah. Now, I've seen people who don't mind because we're talking, this and that cost, that people will say, you know what, let me just do this and I will get my passport. Now, my question at the end of the day that I always ask people is that this passport that you want to get in America, in Canada, in UK, what is the cost? Because any child that is born in that country by a citizen of that country is naturally a citizen of that country. Yeah. How then would that be your own entire life goal that we now come online and celebrate and say, oh, after 20 years, I've got my paper? Now, to some people, it's a success. To me, it's a very dear cost to pay. Yes. Because I believe that if I'm going to give someone 15, 20 years of my life, I'm not saying that is not good, but if that is the only thing that is then motivating me, it should be worthwhile. I must be able to say I'm doing it happy. Yes. I'm doing it with a lot of cash. I'm doing it with a lot of sanity in place, which is why I said that. What is the cost of that? I'm saying, you know what, it doesn't make sense for us to be able to do it. Let's bring the cost again from all of that, because we don't want to overlabor that issue of passport and kidding, because for some people that is success. Yes. If they can get their passport, they have made it. Enter London and see UK passport owners, but that's about it. Yeah, nothing else. That's about it. Nothing. Just that, you have the UK passport, but and then they will not even travel. You can't travel. None of the person will get money. They travel. You will have to. Then you see, okay, we don't do overdraft. Then go to Nigeria to go and press people. So you're now that you have made the UK passport to go to your own country that you already have a passport for. Is that not why people would then borrow money, do overdraft, to go to Nigeria to go and do dirty December and come back to UK and start reporting the amount that they've spent in Nigeria, that they were scammed, but they know that they spent the money, but they don't have the money. It's just illusion of success. Now, in all of this, don't get me wrong, there are people doing very well in the UK. Yes, we have personal experience, so we know that it's possible. Yeah. But like I said, what helped us to be able to balance our life was that at the beginning we were counting every cost. We were counting it. So even when something looked like, I remember we had when we were in school, someone got fed up. It was not all this COS buying and all of that. We should come and buy. It's cheap and all of that. And I said, I would come and buy COS to work. No, I don't want. I'd rather buy COS and lounge. I don't want. I would not come and buy and work. That was, we checked the cost. We were like, the route that we took was more expensive. Yeah. Was costlier, would take us to do some things, take us to do some professional course, because, but we said that this is better. We will not take this because it was going to be clear in 2 weeks. Yes. We said we're not going to do that. So I think just think about your future. And then something the guy mentioned that was like, it feels like everybody is doing that thing. He wasn't exaggerating, because most of the time when I told people I was looking for a job, that if you see anything, let me know. Guess what? Nobody asked me, what did you do in school? What kind of jobs are you looking for? They just sent me link to care job. Straight. Immediately you say you're looking for a job. You say, if they are not sending you care job, they are sending you warehouse or it's like there's something wrong here. They don't even want to know. You say, I'm looking for a job. They'll just ask you, is it sponsorship? So me, I'll be thinking, yes, it's sponsorship, because I'm not expecting that sponsorship should be only in care. But I know people doing sponsorship, and then I see a WhatsApp message or an email, and then it's linked to care assistant. Like always, if you are looking for a job, so frustrating. It's almost impossible for you to tell you need a job that someone will give you something else other than care, warehouse job, and you know that this person is a graduate or probably have masters. Yeah. But there's this idea that this is what everybody is doing. What are you saying? It's the normal thing, It's what you're going to do. But that is not the normal thing. That is not now. The few people that are doing it, they're few. Yeah. But people are doing it. Now let's put the cost of marriage. The
That
cost,
cost is very expensive.
the cost of marriage, the true cost of moving abroad on marriage is very expensive. It's very expensive.
Yeah. You can break or how do you say it? Make or
make
break.
or break the
Yes.
home. It even goes without saying. Everybody keeps saying, "Oh, abroad is breaking marriage." Do you think abroad is one breaking marriage? What's your?
I think abroad is breaking marriage.
I don't think so.
Like,
I think
what
abroad
I mean-
made our own marriage work. It was
Yeah,
abroad
what I
that
mean
really
what I
helped
mean
us
by
come together.
abroad is breaking
Help us come
marriage
together.
is the circumstances, because I don't think in Nigeria a man will be going out and a woman will be coming back. If they were abroad, that's when they will do that. So it's not as if
That's true.
it's not like abroad is breaking marriage, but that's where put them in that situation. They didn't have a need to do that where they were.
Okay, so the idea that husband and wife they are really together, they're not looking
like
for
exchanging keys at the door. They didn't have that experience back home. So that's like, yes, abroad is breaking marriage because you're not with this person.
Oh,
yeah.
So that's another cost on marriage.
Yeah.
But that can be worked on, because I remember, like I said, the reason why we rejected the night job on K that you got that time, even though it was very close, like it was one bus or I can even drop you in about 15 minutes. I can drive and drop you in about 15 minutes at work. Was that we said no, we are not going to divide our family such that you not go and sleep over there. You come back the next morning, you are almost
you can't even sleep actually when you come
can't
back.
sleep. That's the on earth we get to that point. You not get, the family is there. The husband cannot play game when they want to play game because you are sleeping. Then you have to wake up during the day. That no, this cost on the marriage,
it's too much.
It will be too much, and we're a young family, so we have to say, you know what? No. This route is more expensive. It will take us not. I remember that we wanted to change our car to a bigger car, but instead just driving this. It was a two-door car. Our first car.
That you first come down so that somebody will come out.
Our first car was a two-door, but we said, you know what? Let's stay with this two-door car. Those were the we said, you know what? We'd rather do that one and stay with this. It was for us, like, we don't want to be penny wise.
Pound foolish. But now in the country that is actually pound foolish.
In
Nigeria, it cannot be penny wise, pound foolish.
But now
we are really penny wise,
pound foolish. In this country, we are not careful. Now that's the cost of marriage, which of course extends to the children.
Yeah.
I believe that if we are not careful, this generation of relocators that they call jackpass, their children will be the victim.
Because of time. Or lack of time.
It's time now. Lack of or availability of it.
Time.
It's time. And it's not because parents are bad parents.
No.
The life is lifing people in their abroad.
And in their heads, if they don't do these things, these children might not even grow.
And someone is saying that I'm hustling for the children.
Yes.
But the children that we are hustling for, we don't even have time for them.
For them, yes.
Because of the job that we do.
And taking care of children is actually not only financial.
That discussion, it's not impossible. Don't get me wrong. If you count the cost, you need to pay some things if you don't want to do the normal way. Because, for instance, if you want to be a parent that is available, you would then not be a parent who overworks. All these parents that want to do 60 hours work per week, that cannot be you if you have a child. That is a cost. This idea that when I pick, I'll pick day, I'll not shock you with some nights. That cannot be you if you want to be a parent that is available. The idea that I want to pack the money, I want to work, I can do this. That cannot be you, because
one thing you have to give, like something. Yes.
Then
something has to give.
There's a subject of teaching them your language.
How do you intend to?
When you are not at home. When you are not around in their life, how are you going to?
At least for Yoruba parents, there are even some materials on YouTube. For Igbo parents, it's hard to see Igbo baby content. Like you can say, I'll plug it in for the child and
to listen. That's another cost. Another true cost of living abroad that I would like to mention would be health. That one is big. How many times now do we hear somebody slumped and die? Or
there was a time it was very almost every week you see it on Instablog. It was scary then.
Especially in the UK. Do you think it was the UK that was costing it, and people are not paying the right cost, or they are just because I know for sure on the issue of the night duty. There was an article I read online about the US that
Yeah.
if you do night shifts, some extent, you can never be on the jury because they believe that your thinking is not in the right frame.
Yeah.
That you cannot think as normal people would think.
You think.
There's some health. Every time you go on, I was a video I made that every time you go online, you see somebody trying to sell one gummy, one kidney, and eat this gummy. If you have problem because of night duties, you cannot digest food well. I'm like, all you need to do is sleep. So is it affecting our health? Actually, that cloud that the guy mentioned definitely is not the physical
It's
cloud.
not
But there's a physical cloud.
Yeah.
It's grey.
Even the physical cloud is grey. As we're talking to you now, it's not even what's the time. Past 4. If you see how outside is, so there's actually a cloud.
It's grey. There's a cloud.
The cloud is grey.
So is it that cloud that is changing but that is possible now for you to and I'm not looking at the cost about that. I don't think that you can do anything about that one.
Yeah.
That is the cost you would have to pay.
Even health-wise, food choices.
So I was someone I heard that does, night job, those heavy carrying things, night job, and comes back home to eat noodles and chicken, whatever I said, noodles. Comes back home to eat pizza.
When you do that, I said, I thought you wanted to say Eba. Because anything that will make me to do night job.
No, what I'm saying
when I come back, Eba must be waiting for me. So you can imagine accumulated Eba. That's Eba sis. Every week.
The problem with that kind of a thing is that if you eat such food, it's not healthy.
Yeah, so it just accumulates, and then I feel like later thinking about this thing, the health implications.
No, the health implications are going to be very dear, and because what I've then found out at the end of the day is that the harder you work, the lower the pay.
Thank you.
The harder you work, the
lower the pay, because by the time the tax master comes, you'll be angry.
And because people need to then contribute a lot of hours into those low paying jobs, that is demanding their time, demanding energy and all of that from them. But because the money is now low, they then have to then eat cheap.
Yes.
Eat cheap.
Because actually eating healthy is expensive.
They'll put it for you. You say organic.
Yes.
Is more expensive. I've seen someone say, "Oh, I don't like African food are very expensive." Because of course our chicken are much more expensive than the local chicken. Yeah, but I'm like, you want to do that kind of heavy work and still eat these papers.
Wrong. Yes.
I don't think the cost is.
And then while they are doing their job, they are taking soda.
Yeah.
Or energy drinks so that their eye will be open.
That's what I'm saying. That people, so that's another cost on health. People who do night jobs and saying, you know what they want to stay awake, they're drinking energy drinks to stay awake and soda. I'm like, how long are we going to be able to do that and then be able to keep our health? Now,
or they plug music
in your ear cord continuously.
It's expensive.
It's killing, bro. It's another expense. So all of these costs are some of the costs. Like as you can see, as we discuss them, we try to put them in our own situation.
Yeah.
And what we did, what we paid, or what we refused to pay. Because we said, you know what, we don't want this one. Okay, we cannot, like the weather now. What are we going to do with weather?
You can't change that. You just have to live with
but I can change that. I'm not going to do this work.
Yes.
Call me arrogant. Call me overreaching. I don't want to do it.
If you have things to meet up with, it's not bad. But don't make it a norm. If you do 1 or 2, you wouldn't really see the effect. But don't.
But they'll say, I'm going to pack this one. I'm not going to do it. I'm not going to do. That's the cost. The price I'm not willing to pay. Now, you are not going to be able to convince me personally that I must do a particular job just because if I don't do it, I will not be able to have British passport.
I'd rather go back to Pemu.
I would. Have you ever into Pemu before?
No.
I would actually rather go back to Muritala for me to pick something that I don't like. Just because at the end of the day, I'm going to get a British passport. No. I don't believe it's what. Don't get me wrong. Go. I know that it's a very controversial thing. People think once you get the British passport, you are sitting next to the throne of God. I don't believe in it. Do you get what I'm saying? I don't, because I've seen people with British passport and somebody that has not even done Nigerian passport in Nigeria is better than them.
Yeah.
The quality of life. That yes, you have a British passport, but I've seen you.
Yeah, and I've been to places that your passport has not even gone to.
You are there, but at the end of the day, there are people in Nigeria that have not applied for Nigerian passport, but they live a better quality of life than you in the UK with your British passport. It is there. You get, people can make mouth, people can go to Nigeria and pretend oppress people, but we all live here in the UK. We see
the true money.
The true cost is there. Now, it doesn't mean that abroad is bad. Abroad is good.
Yeah.
It is you sitting down to say, you know what? Can I pay this cost? Do I have the capacity to pay this cost? Do I have the, counting your cost? I think that's the wherewithal of this cost. Some of them are going to require you to delay your gratification.
Yeah.
Something that we could have said, you know what? Let's not use that money now. I remember when we first heard about all these global talent thing. I'm like, they want to say, why will you go for global talent when you can just go and do? You not pay IHS. I'm like, okay, I understand, but I understand. But what is the true cost? If I save this money, what am I using to pay for it? That you want me to laugh. That you want me to? Yes, I know I'm not going to pay this IHS fee. I'm going to keep my money. But Eyimbos are very smart. They will put things in front of you that will take that money. So what are they trying to take? And when I saw what they would take, we said, no, I don't have this to pay. And we said no to it. So if you check the cost, and of course, I've seen people say they are coming to UK to hustle now. But, when I come to the UK, I will hustle. Number one.
2 months later.
Also you. But if you think you can come and do it, why not?
Kindly go ahead.
I've seen people say they were going to go to the US to hustle before Trump. But now, Trump done it.
They've trumped them.
But when people said that, no, is it worth it? They said no. It must be there. Now they are there now. They are working. If they can pay the cost, why not? So this is not to say it's bad. This is not to say it's good.
Just say count the cost.
Check the cost. What is the true cost?
Yeah.
Let's not
always
live
choose
with the
your
illusion.
life first.
Choose your life. Choose your life first. We are hoping that summer one day, our continent will work.
Yes, because what's the point of all
our
this?
continent will work, and we will not be doing testimonies for getting foreign passports.
Yeah.
As if we've gotten passports or limited money. We will not be doing testimonies or praying our prayer points. You see it on those prayer points, like all those night vigils prayers, and people's prayers are usually for visa, for this, a lot of that. Now we are not giving people living abroad. After all, we live abroad also.
So
we are just counting the cost.
In the UK.
I will live in the UK. So
just
in case you are watching and you are thinking, it's because they don't travel. We are just counting the true cost, because against what some people will want you to believe, Nigeria is not hell. I just want to put that there, because I've heard people say things like, I'm not going to go back to Nigeria. I'm not one of them. I'm, God forbid, bad thing.
I'm ready.
I'm a Nigerian, but it doesn't mean that our country is, they'll say, Nigeria is not safe. No, I don't believe that. Now, that is relative also. Everybody have their own
different experiences.
experience and all of that. And one thing is sure, you cannot be a lizard in Nigeria and come to the UK and become a crocodile. In fact, you might become a gecko. That war gecko in the UK. Yeah, it might be small as if just because you move, not because you will not be.
You just automatically
you can become bigger. No, but if you are a crocodile in Nigeria, even if you will shrink in size, you will not become a lizard in the UK. But of course, a lizard in Nigeria that enter the UK can become a crocodile if you choose to eat what crocodiles eat. I'm sure that's proverbial. You see people do them. Oh God.
Word.
My brain is working.
Yeah. Word, man.
So that's what you need to do. Please, as per usual, drop that's my Oga. Tell you face to say that thing. As per usual. that's my Oga. Tell you face to say that quite a lot on the Tell You Face show. Shout out to my Oga. I greet you.
Hello, sir. How do we greet him?
I don't greet him hello, sir.
No, see how Olabukumi greets him. Oluwaye, sir. Yes. Oluwami. When I say, who are you on the phone, we say, Oluwami.
Anyways, so please, as per usual, drop your comments,
Yes.
drop your own views
And experience.
If you don't agree with some of these costs, you think that no, they're nothing, and what are we paying? It's not that much. Please drop it.
Drop it.
If just drop it in the comment section.
And let's know what you think.
Let us know what you think, and please share this and like if you can.
And we'll see you on our next
episode.
Episode.
All right. Bye.
Bye.